When I recorded this route, it was a hot day in July and there was a little bit of construction there on Main Street, as you can see, but I'm starting right at Main and Assiniboine, across from the Forks. So all you have to do is exit the Forks towards Main and Assiniboine, and you'll be able to follow along on this route. You can also download the map right from the description, and you should be good to go. Like so much of our network, this here is a shared sidewalk, so you have to give preference to pedestrians and be careful, don't go too fast on here, but follow along Main Street going south. When you get to this intersection right here, you just have to be careful because the buses usually come from your left. So you have to look and make sure there are no buses coming from there. And then you're going to turn right into the river path right here. You're usually able to access this river path straight from the Forks, but right now we have a couple of issues. One, that stretch was underwater most of the year. And two, the bridge is not functioning right now. It's not accessible. It needs to be rebuilt, and there is no money for it. So we're just gonna have to do it this way. So this path here follows along the river. And as you can see, you're probably going to guess what I'm going to say about this path not having any lights. So it's not exactly great when it's dark and you're by yourself, but it is a beautiful path and it really feels like you are riding your bike elsewhere. At this point right here, you can exit on your right here and take the sidewalk, but it's a beautiful path still. It just gets a little bit trickier for some people that don't feel comfortable with gravel. There is a little bit of downhill and uphill, but I suggest you try anyways. So just pay attention when you get to this spot here, because your exit will be on the right. And if you don't exit at this point, you will find yourself in some tricky monkey trail territory. So just go up here. I should have taken the path on the right, but I took this desired path here instead. You will end up at this parking lot here at Glasgow. At this point here, you can either go on the street or you can take the shared sidewalk again. And you make an immediate right turn here. This is the only part that's really tricky, is navigating these sort of back roads and shared sidewalks and paths to actually get to the blue line. So just pay attention here and follow the map if you get into trouble. But it's kind of, once you learn it, it's really easy. You just keep taking the paths and the roads and you should be fine. Again, a little bit of winding around to find our way here, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. If you've never seen this path before, I swear it's going to change your life. here we are. Things are gonna start making a lot more sense at this point. You finally will see a multi-use path right here. And this is what we call the blue line. I'm not sure if that's the exact name that it's given, but it's the multi-use path that follows the rapid transit. So at this point right here, instead of going straight, you're going to turn right to go towards the University of Manitoba and Pembina. You're going to start noticing all of the rapid transit stations on your right side now. And we're going to pass some bike lockers. I want you to take a look at here on the side at Jubilee Station. We just passed it. I would love to know if your bike can fit into one of those. I have never seen someone with a bike that actually fits into those slots there. And if you saw there will be a sign. You will take the one towards University of Manitoba. And now this path here is a little bit wider because it has room for bikes and pedestrians. So just make sure to stay on the bike lane side. Another design flaw with those lockers is that you can barely put a U-lock through the lock. So now you have a bike, well, maybe a child's bike, I'm not sure, in a locker with one single lock in there. It makes it really an easy target. From here on in, it's really just a straight line. There are a couple of pinch points, but we're gonna go over that. I'm just gonna let you enjoy the ride. This is one of the features in Winnipeg that we call one of our hills. It's called Mount McGillivray, and basically we just call that because it's going over McGillivray, the name of the road. And at this point here, if you want to explore, just over this hill on the other side, there is an exit to McGillivray, and there's a bike lane on McGillivray as well, going east and west. So where you see this person walking here, that was the exit to McGillivray if you want to explore around there. So just past Chevrier Station, you're going to have to pay attention a little bit because the path isn't very clear, that it doesn't continue here, and you may think that it's over, but we just have to go around these businesses and these tracks. So you make a left onto Chevrier, and then you will notice that there's actually a bunch of bike lanes on here, and trust me, nothing makes drivers more angry than seeing way too many bike lanes. From what was explained to me one time was that one was done by the transit, by Winnipeg Transit, and the other was put in by the city. So there was, some great communication going on there, and now we get to make some drivers very, very angry about these double bike lanes. Just past this point here, you're going to see that there's a bike route sign, and it's actually one that's, correct. You're going to turn right onto Hudson Street and go right to the end of the street, and then you're going to see that the path continues once the street ends. One of the cool things about this multi-use path is that it has a lot of art along the side. So you're going to see coming up here some art, some art installations here representing the Japanese refugees that lived here in Manitoba and worked in the sugar beet farms. So if you ever want to find out more, you should look into the art rides that Bike Winnipeg does in conjunction with the Winnipeg Arts Council. It's really cool to learn all of the history of Winnipeg along this BRT line. So here's another spot where you're going to cross the BRT and some tracks, I think. And then you're just going to keep going straight. Now you have to pay attention because at this point there's a bit of a fork on the road. So just pay attention once you go past this bridge over Abinojimikana, because that's where the path forks. If you go straight, you would keep going to the University of Manitoba, and if you turn right, you're going to go towards Waverley, Kenaston Boulevard, Bridgwater, and that whole area there. And the name of this path is called Awasisak Meskanow. And then right at this point here, you're going to make a left to keep going west. If you had turned right, you would go towards Sage Creek and Bois d'Esprit. There's quite a few things along there. They're really cool too, so you're gonna have to try that out. And I do have another video, which is the other side of this path. It's just sitting in the edit pile, but I promise you, you're gonna have it before next summer to explore. So once you cross this lovely intersection, you will be basically following the path beside Bridgwater. So, you're going to see a bunch of little paths that cut from here on the left, and those all enter Bridgwater, the Bridgwater area. So if you have friends that live around there and you want to go visit them, this is a good spot for you to cut into the Bridgwater Estates, I think it's called. So we're going to be taking the east side path today. And honestly, when you ride your bike in this area of the city, after riding it in other places where there is zero infrastructure, I don't know. It's a mix of excitement that there is hope for the future, but at the same time, it's kind of like, how did this happen? How did we get so many paths on this side of the city in this new development, and the northwest corner of our city doesn't have anything like this? Well, that's one of the questions that we're trying to answer at Bike Winnipeg, and that we are fighting for in advocacy to sort of balance the bicycle network all over the city. So I know I say this a lot, but it would be really important if we could have your voice added to our advocacy at Bike Winnipeg as well. thank you again for watching this video. Please let me know if this route was helpful for you, and if you tried it, and if you have any other routes that you'd like me to post. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.